Hi, my name is Steve Hemler. I'm president of the Catholic Apologetics Institute of North America, CAINA for short, and we do a whole series of PowerPoint and video-based apologetics presentations. And tonight, on the science and significance of Eucharistic miracles, it looks at these studies, scientific studies that have been done of Eucharistic miracles, 5 in particular, and we talk about how these miracles, when consecrated hosts transform into real human flesh and blood, how this manifests the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. And surveys show that the majority of Catholics, 75% according to a 2019 Pew survey, and even other surveys show as many as half of Catholics who attend Mass weekly do not believe in the real presence, the body and blood, soul and divinity of Jesus Christ in the Eucharist. So these Eucharistic miracles, I think, strengthen faith, dispel doubts, and God provides us with clear signs that manifest His real presence. And what's interesting about these miracles, they all have similar things in common, similar findings when the science looks at these. The first is that it's always heart muscle, and it's heart muscle from the left ventricle of the heart. And whenever they can test for blood type, it's always blood type AB, which is the rarest blood type, and it's the same as what's on the Shroud of Turin and the Auditorium of Orvieto, the face cloth of Jesus. And so people didn't know about blood types until around 1900, so how would they have forged this, centuries ago, especially with the shroud and the face cloth? And so it's very interesting, and what's another interesting finding is that these, when they find these cells, these heart tissue cells, there's presence of active living white blood cells in these Eucharistic miracles. And normally white blood cells die within 15 minutes or so, being removed from a living body. But here we are, centuries, decades later, and they're finding living white blood cells. And so this attests to Christ's loving heart that He gives us He suffered for us. He suffered on the cross. That's what the white blood cells is all about, that they go to address injury as if someone is beaten on the chest. And so He's showing us how He suffered for us and died for us, and how He's still present with us today in the Eucharist. We see a glimpse of His suffering humanity in these Eucharistic miracles, which of course are the full risen divinity, soul and divinity, blood and body of Jesus Christ. And so we're given a glimpse that He really is present in the Eucharist, and this is, I think, a great strength of faith and belief in the Eucharist, which a lot of Catholics have doubts about, and they have for a long time. And these Eucharistic miracles have been going on for centuries. The first one we know about was in Lyceum, Italy in 750 AD, and that was the first one scientifically studied in the 1970s and 1980s. And so this presentation, I think you'll find it very interesting, and hopefully it'll strengthen your faith and be worth sharing with others, because so many people, when they hear this presentation, which we've been doing all over the state so far, and it's even been filmed, as you'll see, by CMAX TV, that they say, well, why did we never hear about this? Why don't we know about this? And so as part of our diocesan Jubilee and the USCCB, the Catholic Bishops' National Eucharistic Revival, we think this presentation will really help strengthen faith and belief in the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. May God bless you.